This week on Uplifting Your Life, we get to meet Shannon Daly and we get to talk with her about how she's a mama of 3, she owns Daly Marketing, she's a yoga instructor, and she's adding new adventures to her life. We get to talk to her about the steps she's taken in her life to get to where she is, to follow her dreams, her passions, into her future. Hello, listeners, and welcome back to Uplifting Your Life. This is your host, Katie Crow, and today we are here with my friend Shannon, and we get to learn a lot today about Shannon and everything that life has brought her through and where she is today and her dreams moving forward. So hello, Shannon.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. Happy January.
Yes.
It's the middle of January already.
We're getting there. My daughter said 8 weeks till spring. She told me this morning. So, yes.
Oh, I hope it's soon. I'm done with winter already, and it's just January. And it's Iowa, so we know it's yeah.
We work out, sister.
That's right. Increase those endorphins. So I want to tell you how I know Shannon, and Shannon and I met, 6 months ago, a year ago?
Close to a year.
Maybe a year ago,
yeah.
Maybe early spring last year.
Yeah.
So at my fitness studio, we were looking for a sub for yoga, and it was actually Krista Beeler who introduced us, and she just kind of connected us. Thanks, Krista. And so Shannon came over to Uplift and subbed a few classes, and we just get along great. She's awesome. She's awesome. So I can't wait for you guys to hear a little bit more from her and learn more from her. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Shannon. I know you have kiddos, and tell us, a little bit like you're a mom of 3, you own Daly Marketing, you're a yoga instructor, and you've been adding more adventures to your life.
Yes. I was like, okay.
So just kind of a brief up.
That's right. I am a mom of 3, so that comes first. Mm-hmm. My oldest is 24, and then I waited quite a few years, and my middle child, a little girl, she's 7, and my youngest boy is 5.
Okay.
So mama 3.
Yeah. Busy.
Got a graduate from Iowa, so go Hawks. Mm-hmm. And I have been in marketing since my oldest was born. So about 24, 25 years. Yeah. TV, radio, worked for my dad's ad agency, and then opened mine. Okay. About 10 years ago, I started in the fitness realm. I owned a Kosama location. And at that point, I was teaching all the things but yoga. I was kickboxing and all that. And I was pretty yang. I just wanted to beat stuff up and Hulk out. And then someone's like, hey, I need you to teach this yoga class. And I'm like, no, that does not even sound.
That's not what I'm doing.
No.
Yeah.
But I did, and I loved it. And so I went on to get my certification. I've been teaching for about 10 years.
Cool.
My family had some unfortunate circumstances last year. And that led me into the interest of the social work field because I feel like our system needs some change. And so I found a nice parallel between yoga and social work because it's all pretty much soul work. And so I'm about to venture into getting my 4-year degree in psychology, which ironically I started when my son was born and I couldn't get it finished because I was a single mama.
Right.
So.
Right. So maybe a long time ago, you knew you kind of wanted to do this, but was just put on hold. Yeah. So now you get to kind of chase that dream again.
That's right.
That's exciting. So have you picked where you'll go to school or when you'll start or any of that venture?
Yeah. That road to success sometimes is a little bumpy. I tell my yoga students all the time, it's not that straight and narrow line. It's ups and downs and ins and outs. And I had this awesome dream, this game plan. I was going to start working at Starbucks, and they were going to pay for my degree.
And I've heard they do this.
Yes, it's amazing. If you've got the time, do it.
Yeah.
So 20 hours a week, they'll give you access to, pay for your college at ASU. And also benefits. So my cousin's like, hey, life hack. And I'm like, hey, life hack, let me try you. And it was just too much.
Let me try for just a second.
But I'm drowning.
Yeah. I saw one morning you were getting up at 3:30 or something.
Stupid.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah, life hack, but you got to be able to like get up at the crack of dawn, not even like way before the crack of dawn.
Yeah.
To get ready and get to work. And you were still doing all your other things.
Yes. See, if I could just go home and take a nap, it'd be one thing, but that's not my life. So, so that was the plan. So now the plan is to just, take myself through school and do it that way. So that little dead end ended, and here we are.
At least you gave it a shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's great because a lot of people are afraid to jump into a new venture of the unknown. It can be scary to try for new goals or try for new things. So I think it's great that you gave one thing a shot and you're not giving up on your true goal of your next move. So I think it's great that you're still doing that.
And I just have to go on record as saying, never gave baristas enough credit. Holy cow.
Right.
Hard.
No kidding.
Tip them well.
Not just about pouring coffee. Okay, we're going to take just a short break. We're going to come back with Shannon. We're going to learn more about her background, where she's from, and everything that is filling her heart.
Hey guys, this is Margie from Farm Her. I want to remind you all that we have some really fun, functional, cute merchandise out on our store at farmher.com, and fall has arrived in the Farm Her market. We've got some new sweatshirts, hoodies, one of my favorite windbreakers out there, so check it out at farmher.com. And while you're there, be sure to use the code Shining Bright and save 10% just for our listeners.
Welcome back. This is Katie Crow with Uplifting Your Life. Today we are here with Shannon Daly, and she is leading us through everything in her life, from the ups, the downs, and what is fueling her heart. So Shannon, where are you from originally?
Right here.
Right here.
Born and raised. Yep.
Nice.
I actually had to call my dad this morning. I'm like, what hospital was I born in? Because they're going to ask me. And so I was born at Mercy, right here in Des Moines. Yeah. And my grandma was they called them charge nurses back then. So my grandma actually took care of me in the nursery because she was the nurse there.
No way.
Yeah, right?
That is super cool.
I was like, fun fact for the day.
That is really neat. Brian, my husband, was also born at Mercy downtown.
Perfect.
I was born in Missouri, so nowhere around here.
All right.
That's awesome. So what is a charge nurse? Is it basically just like the nursery nurse?
She was the one in charge. Like back in the day, she's
charge
past God.
In charge. It took me a second.
But back in the day, if you go down to Mercy School downtown, they wore those hats and whatnot. Okay. And she had a special symbol on her outfit.
Like, I'm in charge.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Typical. And we wonder why I am the way I am, but
runs in the blood. That is awesome. So you're from Des Moines, and you chose to stay in Des Moines.
Yes.
But not for school. After high school, you did go to Iowa. Is that right?
My son went to Iowa.
Your son went to Iowa.
I had my son at 18.
Oh, okay. So
I was here with him and family, and just stayed here because of family, and then went on to have my little one.
Yep. So you were a young mom.
Mom.
Can we just briefly talk on that? Because I was a young mom, and I think not enough women are talking about that. I mean, it's different than the, what is it, MTV show of Teen Mom or whatever. Oh gosh. It's different than that.
Yeah, no.
Because those shows, your family's giving them cars and money, and my life wasn't like that. So how did you, I don't want to use the word survive, but how did you thrive being a young mom?
Yeah. So this one conversation I had with my mom comes back to me when I brought my son home from the hospital. He, to this day at 24, has never met his dad. So hands down, single mom, legit.
My oldest also has never met her biological dad.
See, it's for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a blessing in disguise sometimes.
Total blessing for us.
Yeah. But I remember one day I brought him home, and I think it was those hormones crashing after you have your baby, and I was just bawling in the shower. And at that time, she was living with me in this little apartment on the south side, and she's like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, I'm in charge for keeping this human alive.
He sent me home with a human baby. I'm the baby.
do? What if he stops breathing? And like all these thoughts like go through your head.
Yeah.
And she's like, Shan, listen, I'll never forget this conversation. She's like, there's 3 choices you have. And she's like, 1/3 of the population, bad things happen. And then she stops and she goes on to say, and a child is never bad, but adversity happens. 1/3 of the population goes backwards and they just throw up their hands and freak out and just stay home. She's like, 1/3 of the population just stays stagnant. They're just kind of frozen. They're treading water. And she's like, and 1/3 of the population uses this life lesson to propel and push herself forward. She's like, which third do you want to be?
Yeah.
So that at that time I made up my mind that I wasn't going to be labeled the young 18-year-old mom that had all the issues. And it was my drive. I think my drive was born when my son was. Yeah.
I love that. I would agree with me too. Because I love that what your mom said, because in a way, I think that's so true. Some people, basically give up. Some people stay where they are, afraid to, make a change or jump forward. And some people, it fuels them to make new goals and achieve them.
Right.
Yeah.
And for you too, girl. Look at you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, things aren't always easy, and everyone has their own struggles and challenges, and it's not easy, but it's just what you do to make your life better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So you were a young mom, and it was just you and your son for a long time.
Yep.
And
Easy, baby. Easy.
Good.
Ooh, he was my introvert. He would watch Lion King on replay like 3 times. He tricked me into having my other 2.
So then you had more babies.
Yes. I was married. No longer married, but was married. And my story entails a miscarriage of twins. Okay. And those babies went on to heaven. And then I joke and say they came back to me one at a time because I couldn't handle these 2 at the same time. So I have a 7-year-old girl and a 5-year-old boy.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. And they don't watch Lion King on repeat as easily?
Oh, girl, no. I mean, we're talking to Alexa and bossing her around this morning.
That's my youngest, May is 6, and she's I couldn't get her to sit still for a movie if like our lives depended on it.
Oh, heck no.
It's crazy. Other parents are like, oh, we limit screen time. And I'm like, May, please watch TV.
Here's your iPad. Mommy needs to breathe.
I don't care what you do. Search YouTube. I don't care.
It's survival, girl.
It totally is. It totally is. Okay. So along with where you're from, and you stayed in the Des Moines area, who are the people closest to you? I know you talked about your oldest son and your mom.
Yep. We have a tight family. I was raised by a village though. So my aunties and I were super close.
Good.
And I was the youngest. Gosh, I have 2 stepsisters born in the household. I was more of in the household with my brothers. So I was the youngest, only girl with 3 older brothers.
Okay.
So my big brothers were pretty tight too.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And do you still have most of your family here?
Yeah, I think all my family's pretty much here. My sisters are down in Florida.
Okay. Right.
But mostly everyone's here or have passed. My parents are older. They're,
Well, if you're the youngest.
Yeah.
Okay. So well, it's nice that they're nearby if you want to see them. You
That's
can
right.
just hop in the car and go see them.
That's right.
Yeah. My parents live here too, and I like it. However, they do want to move away. Don't move away. But it's
or do and send for me often so I can go someplace warm.
Yeah, if you're gonna go, come on, make it worth it. So it sounds like you're just close to all your family, which is fantastic. I think it takes somebody with a really great heart to be able to be close to their whole family.
Oh, well, there's some of them,
Yeah, well, everybody's got some of them, right? Okay, so what are your favorite activities to do with your family or by yourself?
I know, right? I tend to be an adrenaline junkie. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
So what happens is I have 2 speeds. I'm on or I'm off type of situation.
Oh, I feel you.
So we're running through businesses and kids and jobs and yoga and taking care of other souls, and then it's like it's all or nothing. And I really enjoy so gym and yoga and lifting. I love to lift. I love to run in the summer. And then, but in the same regard, I love just as much that quiet time where my kids go to bed, I sit in the dark, the fireplace is on, and I just chill. So I love them equally as much.
I'm a lot like that. And I have told some friends that like after the holidays, I was like in holiday hangover, like struggle bus, because I got a little too much of that. I was like, oh yeah, time to go.
Kick it in gear.
My kids were home a lot. And so we did a lot of just chilling, and it was great. It was so needed and great. But I do also really enjoy that time.
That's like your introvert extrovert, right? Like that turtle needs to crawl on the shell to recharge.
So that you can fuel and fill others. Totally. So what do you like to do with your kiddos at home? I know you do a lot of activities with them.
Yeah, we did this fun thing on New Year's Eve, and I'm going to keep doing it. So I'm a Reiki certified as well. And my Reiki master said, hey, do this foot soak thing. So I'll tell you about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so excited to hear about it.
It was fun.
Yay. All right. We're going to take just a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to hear about this foot soak that her kids did with her. I might need to do this with my kids too. And we're going to talk more about what the future lies ahead for Shannon.
Hey, this is Melissa with Tin Roof Market. Just want to share with you some of the products we make using goat's milk from our family farm. We make a variety of soaps and lotions using the goat's milk along with other natural ingredients, adding essential oils and fragrances to give them that amazing smell. Some of the scents to choose from are lavender oatmeal, double mint, eucalyptus spearmint, sweet orange, and many more. We also make a variety of lip balm, lip scrubs, and sugar scrubs. If you'd like to find out more, please check us out at www.tinroofmarket.com, like us on Facebook, or follow us on Instagram.
Welcome back. We're here today with Shannon Daly, and we are talking with her. We're going to finish this convo about her New Year's Eve activity she did with her kiddos, a foot soak. Tell me more.
Right. So my 2019 New Year's Eve was great fun, but it rolled into a really rough year. So I'm like, how am I going to reset this year with intention, right? Yoga instructor, will it, intention, manifest. So my Reiki master is my cousin, and she's like, do this with your kids. You're going to love it. So we she goes, go to the dollar store and get the big like mixing bowls and then come home. And I like to teach my children my way of like holistic living.
Sure. Yeah.
Mindful living. My daughter was doing yoga last night in bed before she fell asleep. You know, I want them to know those ways. Yeah. And so we, on New Year's Eve, I think we celebrated New Year's Eve at 8 p.m.
Yeah, I'm all about that.
And we did the confetti. Oh,
totally. It's midnight somewhere else.
Right. So that happened. And then we did this, the tree was still up, and put our feet into some Epsom salt that had like spearmint and eucalyptus in it. They all went and picked their favorite crystal because crystals have powers and it's magic, you know. We start our new year with some magic. And we did a little foot soak with some oils and chilled. And we talked about what we wanted to do in the new year and just set intention together. And it was perfect. It's
great that you did that with your kids.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's teaching them. And it's also you stepping away from everything else in the world and focusing on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good.
I only get them half the time. So with that 50%, I'm intentional with it.
My sister gets her youngest daughter half the time. And very same. She makes every minute count. And, you know, we've asked for, hey, could she come over for a sleepover or whatever? And she's like, no, but I missed her so much. Right. Don't take her, you know? Yeah. So yeah. I think it's great that you do set that time with them. Fantastic. Okay. So I want to know a little bit more about your business background. And I know you started Daly Marketing, and you said a little bit about following your dad's footsteps. So what inspired you to do that?
Lots of years in marketing, and sold for TV, sold for radio. Actually was housed inside my dad's agency for a little while doing some web stuff. And someone looked at me one day and they were like, Shannon, I just think you are hard to manage. I think you need to be the boss.
Wait. Okay, hold on.
Hence why I'm single, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, back up.
Back to the charge nurse. Yeah.
Hold on. Right. So were you, wait, I lost my train of thought. I was laughing so hard. I know. were you close to this person? Did they love you enough to tell you this?
It was my ex-husband.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he loved me at the time.
Okay.
But the story went on to say...
So they were honest. It
Yes.
was an honest conversation.
Yes.
It wasn't like, I don't like you, you should leave.
Right.
It was more of like, you should maybe do your own thing.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And this position I was in was at the top TV station in the market.
Mm-hmm.
I was supposed to be making a killing and I wasn't. And it was like, pretty much we did the math and jumped. So Daly Marketing was born in, 04.
Okay.
I mean, time travels so fast these days, but it's been around a while.
Okay. Yeah. What are you talking about? 04 was just like 3 years ago.
Right. Yesterday.
Seems like it. Okay. So, and you've stuck with it. You kept it going even through your other adventures.
Yeah. It's a different business model, one that really doesn't live in the market. So I have clients that now I get a little choosy about who they are. But I have clients that I basically just come alongside them like a marketing director in-house would be, and then I freelance the work out. So I'm the strategist, I'm the media buyer, but then if someone needs a website, I go to this person. If we need to do production, I go to this person.
That's great. So you're the kind of a middle ground for people who are like, what do I do?
Yeah.
That's
and
fantastic.
it keeps costs low, because no one wants to pay for the mansion on the hill.
Right.
So, yeah.
Totally. I think that's great. I think it's great. So on top of Daly Marketing, and you had a son.
Yes.
And then you decided, then you had Kosama.
Yep.
Son.
Co-son.
Well, I'm talking, okay, so you had your older son, and then you had Daly Marketing, and then you opened Kosama.
Yeah. Kosama was 2009 to 2012. My daughter was born in 2012.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So I was waddling around that place.
Yes.
Pregnant with her.
Yep. I did Zumba pregnant. There's no photos for evidence
Right
of
now.
this. It was a show. So along with Kosama, you decided to start teaching yoga, and you went and got certified. Yeah. And you have taught for 10 years. Yeah. Okay. Tell me a little bit.
Kosama got bought out. And so when they got bought out, just being in marketing, I was like, ooh, that's not going to be the same.
It's going to be different.
Yeah. So I left. We left. We sold. And a lot of people are like, where'd you go? What'd you do? So then after that, my daughter was 3 months old, I think, at the time. And I stayed home with her for a while and kind of learned I wasn't really the stay-at-home mom material. I did it, and I loved her in the time we spent, but I just move around too much. So I went back to work for a little while, but then went on to get my yoga certification at Power Life Yoga. And then after that certification, I've taught a lot of places around town.
That's great.
Have my own home studio and currently teach for Good Vibes downtown and his whole movement. That's amazing.
That's awesome.
And you and your crew.
Kind of over at Uplift.
Yes, you're like right across the street from me.
Yeah. Yes. So with yoga, I want to ask the two questions I want to ask you is, what do you love most about it? And what do you love most about teaching it or about giving it to other people?
Yeah. So I, in my 20s, had a massive anxiety attack, like one that you pull your car over and crawl up the side of the road at Quick Trip on 100th and Douglas, and the ambulance comes.
No specifics or anything.
They accuse you of being a crackhead or having a heart attack and all these things, and then you come to find out, oh shoot, I'm doing too much once again. So anxiety was a thing, and yoga was my medicine, and it saved my life. And so I teach it to save others.
That's great. That's great. I think yoga can touch people's hearts in so many different ways. And so I think that's a great thing to be doing, is to be teaching it and spreading the joy of, calmness and just mindfulness and stretching and just everything that comes with it.
Yeah. And, we're so addicted to distraction. We, myself included, we get on this going 100 miles in this direction, and yoga is like that pause button. And it really equalizes, balances not only the body, but I'm more of a soul teacher, which leads me to my new line of work. Yeah. But I think that the soul work, the paying of the attention to the soul, the inside, the invisible, to me is what makes yoga my passion.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that was an easy answer for you.
Yeah.
You were like, duh.
Yeah, it just is.
Okay, and then
I'll do it. I'll be that chick at like 100. You're going to see videos of, look at this old lady doing yoga.
yes, you're like still living, saved my life. It's
Fountain of youth, baby.
Fountain of youth. Okay, and then really quick, do you have something on the top of your head? What is the hardest part of being an entrepreneur?
Girl, all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. For real.
Yeah, I think it's hard to pinpoint one thing.
I think being a single female owning your own business makes you feel suffocated quite a bit financially because it's all you. Like, I don't have a wingman.
Right.
It's sink or swim.
Right.
Do or die.
And if you don't do the work, nobody's doing the work.
Nope.
So you have to get up and do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and my home office stares me in the face 24/7. So
Get back to work. That's a good one because I think everybody can struggle with that as an entrepreneur. So, okay, so we're going to take just a really quick break and we're going to come back. We're going to talk kind of about your dreams and life transitions and your passions.
sounds good.
Hey, this is Katie Crow, owner of Uplift Fitness Studio. Uplift Fitness Studio is a boutique fitness studio located right in the heart of Grimes, Iowa, in the Governor's District. Uplift offers a variety of group fitness classes, such as yoga, cardio, Zumba, bar, and strength classes. All new students can get their first week free with no obligation. At Uplift Fitness, we are passionate about uplifting women in our community to be strong, healthy, and happy. We strive to make a difference in their lives by creating an environment that allows our members to obtain their fitness goals and enjoy their experience in comfort and safety. Visit our website today at www.upliftfitnessstudio.com. Welcome back to Uplifting Your Life. This is Katie Crow today with Shannon Daly. So we are going to transition a little bit and lead into my next kind of segment of life transitions. Dun-dun-dun. So I want to know, Shannon, your life has been so full of really cool things. So we know that you were a young mom and you had your son when you're 18 and he stayed with you the whole time.
Yep.
And then you were married.
Yes.
What year were you married?
I was married in 2012.
Okay. And then you had 2 kiddos.
My daughter came before the marriage. Yep.
Oh, okay. So then you had a couple more kiddos and then life was like, hey, you should have Kusama. And then it was like, nope, never mind. We're going to do other things. And
yeah, who's ever in charge of my life, it is a little like, I don't know. They need to like, yeah. Can we just chill for a minute?
Sometimes life is ping pong. So you have owned businesses. You've done a lot of different things, but you're getting ready to jump into a new role.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So my older brother, he's my wingman in life. And he's like, Shan, I work for the state. You're single. You could go on to be married. You could not, but you need to start looking ahead.
Yeah, and what's life going to look
Yeah,
like
what we're going to do.
You?
Because we don't have a 401k, we being me. We don't have a retirement plan, all of that. And so he's like, you were going to school for psychology when you had Troy, my oldest, and you're gravitating back into social work for your own passion. Like, I'm going to take this pain, I'm going to channel it into passion for others. And that's my goal with my social work. So what about school? And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm 42 years old going back to school. Barf. Like, when the hell am I going to study?
Right. Are you kidding?
But then he's like, just hear me out. So we started talking about a degree, which, the whole detour of Starbucks.
Right.
And
we cover that.
And he's like, but if you work for the state, you get IPERS and that's your retirement and it's great benefits and it's your future. And so for all the reasons logistically, it kind of led me down this path, but more from the heart space. And so we're starting to set a plan of going back to school and getting my degree. And I'm interested in psychology, criminal justice. I just have to go on record as saying our system is so broken. And being behind the scenes in social work, watching that, these social workers are earth angels for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not the worker's fault. the system's broken, right? Because a lot of people who have to deal with it, everybody says that. I mean, I've never heard anybody say like, well, that was awesome.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, I think it's really important to say that these workers that are working for the state are working their tails off and emotionally, mentally drained by the time they leave every day sometimes. So I think we do need to be easier on them. It's not their fault, and they're working hard. But
self-care is another correlation. Why social work? Why yoga? What's the correlation? It's all soul work, but those social workers need self-care because they're giving a lot, and we don't do it for the money.
Yeah, right. It's hard work for them. I know that for sure. So, what was your biggest drive to follow this other than your brother's kind of push?
Yeah. So he was my logistical guy. Like he's Mr. like voice of reason, right?
It's good to have one of those.
Yeah. But my 2019, it was a rough year and just kind of walked through it. And again, third of the population, what are you going to do, right? Be which 1/3 are you going to be?
What are you going to do?
Yeah. So we're going to drive, and we're going to use our pain to fuel and passion and move forward. And so my goal is to get my 4-year degree and never stop teaching yoga because it's my passion, and bring the two of them together. So for example, the office is going to have me teach yoga for them, for my team and whatnot. So it all goes together. It's just, a lover of humans pretty much.
That's awesome. So have you started this role? When will it start? Or will you do school first?
Yeah, no. So I'm at Community Support Advocates. It's over off Merle Hay Road.
Okay.
So I am a peer support specialist, which this role is so cool, right? So I don't have a degree, but they hire me because coming from a place of anxiety, I can come along people who have mental illness, and I can help teach them resiliency and recovery, and basically use my story and my path to give them inspiration, which is such a cool role. Right. So I fell in love with that, on the spot.
People like to connect with someone who can, be like-minded or understand them. Yeah. So that's good.
Let's just side note, none of us are perfect. So stop that show because we all have our stuff.
Right. If you think you're perfect, you definitely aren't.
Let's just look in the mirror and deal with it, right? As opposed to painting pictures.
Yeah.
So I'm not that girl at all.
Yeah. No, good. Nobody should be.
So yes, Community Support Advocates. I'll get started probably looking for the college of my choice here soon.
So definitely that's one of your passions that you're following right now.
Yes.
Do you have other passions that you're following right now?
Momma is always a passion.
Yeah.
It's my number one.
Yeah.
So
that's
just
good. That's good.
Raising my children to be mindful, to be well, to be real, to honor themselves. And just to make sure that they're supported and loved.
I think that it's so good, especially as a single mom, an entrepreneur of, let's see, you've got 3-4 businesses working here and there.
Own 2, work for 2.
Yeah. Okay. Own 2, work for 2. Slogan of Shannon.
Tagline.
Right. So, but yeah, you're still so involved with your kids. So do you think that, the passions that you follow help your kids follow their dreams? And do they have dreams that they want to follow?
Yes, I hope so, right?
I'm sure they do because you're such a good mom.
I mean, my little boy, I picked him up last night. He's like, oh, Mama, I'm so glad to be back with you. You're my lover bear. I was like, oh boy, you're going to melt my heart.
Don't mind me. I'm just crying.
I know, right? So anyway, yes, I hope that my passion for people, my love for people, like I said, my daughter was doing yoga in her bed last night.
Right.
And I walked in, she's supposed to be reading, and I walked in and she's like bumbling. No, she's like fumbling and almost falling off the bed. And I'm like, girl, what are you doing? She goes, well, I wanted to do yoga instead of read. Is that okay? And I'm like, of course, you better get back to that yoga. I'll see you in 5 minutes to check on you.
Get the lights out.
Yeah. So I think, she's going to go on. She's a mama bear. Her heart's going to lead her. She's very intuitive. So being Reiki work, yoga work, we have spiritual gifts. She's my empath like me. So she feels people out.
Yep.
My boy, he's boss man.
Okay. He's got some of that
he's going to be a leader. Yeah. Charge nurse in him. Right.
It's in the blood.
Yeah, I see it all. Yeah. And he bosses me. I'm like,
Isn't it funny how you can see this in your kids so young?
Yeah.
Right, where it's like, obviously they have no idea what they're going to do with their life yet, but you can see their heart and their personality and their mind and like what they're passionate about at a young age.
Yeah. Oh, and it's crazy because my oldest, right, 24 years old, he's a grown man. And I look at him and I'm like, whoa, that was me. Right. So when they're like older and you're like, yeah, that was that was me coming out on you right there.
I'm struggling with that with my daughter right now. I'm like, how do I get me out of my daughter?
Yeah. That's your mom karma. I hear it's mom karma.
It is. Okay. So real quick, what we're doing is Grace, my oldest, she's 12, almost 13, and she loves to sing. Every time she sings, bless her heart, it's as if she's on an opera stage. Everyone in the whole house can hear her.
Aww.
And she wants us to hear her. And how do you not break her heart by being like, you need to be quiet? Just can you sing to yourself, darling? And yet I'm having flashback memories of my brothers being like, Mom, make her stop.
Oh, you were a singer too?
It's me. Aww. That's like me. So. All right.
Love it.
Listeners, we will be right back. We're going to take just a really quick break and we're going to come back and talk a little more with Shannon. Welcome back, listeners, to Uplifting Your Life. This is Katie Crow here today with Shannon Daly, and we've really been digging into Shannon's life and all the steps that have brought her to where she is today. And along with all those steps, Shannon, I want to know, what is your very favorite pastime? And this can be anything in your past, like your favorite memory of life. That's a tough question, I know.
I feel like it's all happened in the yoga studio.
Oh, great.
Yeah. And I love to teach. I love to take, I love to practice. But those like spiritual moments where like you leveled up a notch, where you're like, oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We just hit another level. Mm-hmm. 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 That's what sets my soul on fire.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's good. Do you have one specific moment where you were either student or teacher where you were like, this is it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing?
Yeah. So I was what people might call a corporate teacher. Okay. I taught for a big gym in town for over 3 years. Mm-hmm. And I got real used to like 85 people classes and all the heat and just, I don't want to say drama, but it was like how like majestic and dynamic can your classes be? So I went through the ringer. Like I went to Detroit and trained under like guru of gurus, the gauntlet. And this past year with everything that went on, I made the decision to leave and I was kind of lost. Yeah. Because that was my maybe ego, if we're real honest, like she's the bomb and here's where she teaches. Yep. So then it was like, then what? I mean, because I'm like one of those people, right is right and wrong is wrong. And if something's wrong, I'm out. Peace.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was out.
Yep.
And then I thought I had a place to land. Well, then again, that road got a little twisty and turny and that wasn't the place. And one of my gurus, Good Vibes, Ben Spellman, was like, yo, I want you to teach for me. Yeah. And my heart like blew up with joy. And I'm like, what? Me? Yeah. He's like, I'm handpicking teams and you're on my team. And I'm like, wow, okay. So we have this movement going on downtown, which again, social work, heart, yoga, like it's Goodwill donations. So you come to a class, drop in. If you got $2, you drop it in the box and we just go and just magic happens there because it's not about the corporate. It's not about money. Right. Much like your studio, it's very family soul driven. Yeah. And that's my freaking niche, right there. Right. So I don't care how dynamic my flows are. I mean, I'm a DJ at heart, so the music does still matter. Yeah. But it's about the people and serving.
It is about the people. And I've said that before, which it doesn't matter what class I'm teaching or what you're doing. It's just about getting together in community and building relationships with those people around you and, all the good that comes with all of that. Right. Just show up and it doesn't matter what we're doing. Make it awesome.
Yeah.
And it's just you know, fueling each other and filling each other's cup and happiness.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I can walk into a class and be so tired and leave and I'm just amped, you know? So it's just channeling higher source to me. I go in there and things come out of my mouth and I don't even know what I'm saying. And
right.
It's like, okay, God, just, you know, tell these people what they need to know today.
Yep. I love it. I love it. Okay, so that's your pastime. Tell us maybe some dreams for your future that we haven't touched on. We know what you're doing with school and social work and yoga and kiddos. Do you have any other dreams kind of hidden in a bucket somewhere?
You know, we could have played it safe and just left it at all the 100 things we've talked about. But, you know, love.
Yeah.
Yeah, I deserve it.
Everybody deserves love.
Yeah.
Real, true love.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
you deserve it.
I'm not afraid to say it.
Who's out there that just wants to come meet this beautiful
Girl, do not today.
Call 1-800. Just kidding. In fact, instead.
No, I didn't say it for that reason.
No, I did. Just kidding. No, you do deserve love because you have a beautiful heart and someone deserves you and you deserve somebody good.
Thank you.
Yes. So I think that's a great dream. That's beautiful.
We'll see.
Okay. So what are, these are things that I think are really important for everyone to consider in their life. What are 3 things that you like to say yes to?
Too much?
No, just like things that you love.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm always going to be down for a glass of wine or whatever.
Yeah. Totally. Always down for a glass of wine.
Yep.
And a cup of coffee.
Yep.
And really just, I always say yes to people that need me. Like if I can be doing something and someone calls me and needs help or advice, or they need me to help fuel their dreams and passions and fire. Like I will always stop what I'm doing and because we rise by lifting others.
Always.
Yep. And so it's always yes to my people. Yeah.
Good. Okay, so these are harder, and I think if you know yourself well, it's easier, but it's still hard. What are 3 things that you say no to?
Yeah, I was thinking about that today. I was like, well, my kids. I say no to them a lot.
No, we're not doing that.
I need the whistle and the striped shirt. So that's going on in my house lately.
Yeah.
So no, yeah. And I need to be better at saying no. So number 2, after my kids sometimes, would be red flags. I'm really trying to be mindful of energy, not lying, and red flags. When they show them, believe them, and don't make up excuses for them. Just watch it. Yeah.
Right. Like, whoop, red flag. Don't act like it's no big deal.
Because my life has been making up excuses for red flags. And then I end up just prolonging the agony.
Right. And if you can see it ahead of time and think, hey, that's a road I shouldn't go down.
Yeah, let's not do
do that.
Because as an empath, you want to like fix it and make it better. And so we're going to not be so on the make it better train. I'm really on the empowerment train this year.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And the last thing, 3, no to my puppy. He gets no a lot.
What kind of dog do you have?
We just rescued a pit bull boxer mix.
Okay.
His name is Hank.
Oh.
And Hank is a handful.
How old is he?
Gosh, he is 3 months now.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah. Oh, yeah. 3-month-old little bully. Yeah. Yeah.
He's on one. So he gets no a lot.
Yeah. We have a 7-month-old Labrador, and they're just so
amazing.
Full of energy all the time.
Right.
Yeah. Does he wake you up at night?
He doesn't, but we call him Mr. Pee Pants because I'm like, for the love of God, please. This is a brand new house. We need to stop. I mean, I can't give you away because I would break my kids' hearts, nor would I. But we got to figure this out.
Yeah. It's already settled. We're getting new carpet upstairs as soon as this dog is potty trained because, I mean, you can clean it with carpet cleaner and rent a rug doctor, but you know it was there. It was there. And it's bothering me.
Yeah, my brother's like, what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, a carpet cleaner. He's like, Shannon, you're officially old.
You're an adult. Like a real adult now. It's true though. I mean, also side note, I thought of this earlier and I laughed to myself and no one else was there to laugh with me. Why aren't dogs dependents on when you do taxes? Because they depend on me 100%.
Everything.
I had to start.
They cost so much.
Yeah. You have to feed them, give them toys. Yeah. They depend on me and blah.
Blah.
You should be like, you get stars back for whatever, just because
rescuing.
you have dogs.
For babies. Yeah.
You take good care of them. Oh my gosh, so funny. But I think those are really good things to say yes and no to, because you're saying yes to things that are filling you and fueling you and making you feel good. And then the things to say no to, especially those red flags, is really important. And I know that it's easy to say those things, not as easily done. So I think it's great that you are acknowledging it and knowing not to go down those paths.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Let's not. And I encourage listeners to also look for those red flags and know your boundaries.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Boundaries.
Boundaries.
Read that book.
Yeah.
Do it.
All right. We'll be right back, guys. Next week on Uplifting Your Life, we get to speak with Ashley Hartcorn about her life and transition from corporate America to being a stay-at-home mom, and all of the small business adventures she's going through, how she's managing her time being home with her kiddos, and how she is uplifting her life. Welcome back. And we are back here today with Shannon. And so we have talked so much with Shannon today about everywhere that she's been, everything she's doing, everything she hopes to do in today and her future. And Shannon, I want to know a couple more things about you. I want to know what you're doing to uplift yourself, because in this podcast, I'm going to say every single time, I think it's really important to be good to you, be good to others, and uplift your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I want to know, how are you uplifting yourself? And this can be, a daily walk. It can be like a silent morning with a cup of coffee or whatever. What do you do to uplift your own spirit?
Sure. So I learned real quickly that your body keeps score. So when you're a driven person, you tend to think you're Superwoman, and your body's like, yeah, no. Not So self-care is
human.
Right.
Yeah.
Self-care is super important. So to uplift myself, again, it's the yoga. I'm part of a lifting team, and we have so much dang fun just kicking our own butts.
That's good.
So I lift and I do yoga. And for whatever reason, that's been my favorite combo. In the summer, I run. I love to get out in Grimes. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, we have some great trails.
Yeah. But I would say on a daily basis, my go-to is music.
Good. Yeah, you said you're kind of a DJ at heart.
My Spotify list picks me up when I fall, for sure. So, and I'm kind of this secret ghetto rap lover, so.
Heck yeah.
It's a little Tupac, a little Biggie. We're back to good.
Yeah, 98.3. Yeah.
It's all there.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, and then we know this a little bit already, but how do you uplift everyone else around you?
Sometimes I don't even know, right? I guess that's my honest answer. My nickname is Bubbles. I just have a love for life and a love for people. And I really, again, try to be a channel. So, I pray before my yoga classes, Lord, use me as a channel to help these people in any way that they need. And so it's just whatever is needed at the moment, really. So whether someone really needs to start a yoga practice or get into the gym for health reasons, or get some Reiki work and dive into their spiritual gifts. It's an array of whatever I'm sent to do.
Right. And honestly, after talking with you, I feel like that's what your marketing business is all about too. It's about being the channel, and it's about helping those businesses when they need it and how they need it. Yep. And it's kind of a very similar, it seems like, business style with marketing as your mindset for yoga.
Yeah.
I want to be here for you with what you need, how you need it, and,
exactly,
let me help you.
And I think marketing will help any business, yoga, whatever. And I think too, psychology, social work, psychology will help any business. So there's really correlations all over the place.
All over the place. That's so awesome. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Having me.
To uplifting your life. I think that you are a really good person to be in our community to help other people uplift their lives as well. I think it's a train that we often fall off of because, and especially at the beginning of the new year, a lot of people set new goals to be like, okay, I'm going to do this more and I'm going to be more mindful of this. And by about the second week, people tend to fall off.
Right.
So I think it's really important to have people like you around us and in our lives to keep us on track with whatever it is we're wanting. Like you said, like to be there for people and friends, to help encourage them to keep moving forward with whatever their goals are, whether it's become an entrepreneur or find a new career path or, be a good mom or just be a good, soul around. So,
right. And don't be afraid to mess up and bump your head.
Don't be afraid to mess up. And we talked about, easy things about being an entrepreneur and hard things because nobody's perfect and we don't have to be perfect or pretend to be perfect. No. So I think it's really good to cover all those bases. And and also listeners, I want you to know it's really important and special to have someone in your life that you can lean on when you have hard times. Whether it's an entrepreneur friend and you're an entrepreneur, or you have a work buddy that it's like, this project is really tough and you need somebody there. So find somebody, a shoulder, whether it's, at work or not, vent because venting is good. Yeah. Fill your cup, fill your soul with whatever uplifts you.
And I am blessed to have you. And I'm so excited for this venture of yours. Yeah, so congratulations.
Thank you. Again, I want you guys all to go find us out on Facebook at Uplifting Your Life. We'll post our podcast there. We are also going to post our podcast on Instagram at Uplift Fitness Studio. And you can also find our podcast anywhere that you find your podcast online, Apple Podcast and Libsyn and all that good stuff. And I want to invite you to come back to listen to more as we release more exciting podcasts and we meet more movers and shakers in our community, what they're doing to be good to them, to be good to others, and what is uplifting their life.